Video is about why practicing away from your instrument is actually the key. The key, really. It's that important. It is the key to both healing and improving your skills as a musician. And I'm talking about technical skills, increasing your technical facility. And I'm also talking about becoming even more expressive so that you can communicate your art from your heart with ease. And everything that I teach my coaching clients, my group classes, my Jumpstart program students, it's all about how to make music with joy and effortlessness, free of pain, free of stress, free of performance anxiety. You just want to be able to make music and have a wonderful time playing from your heart. I think that's what you want. If that's what you want, come on and say hello and tell me that. Just give me a thumbs up. Just say, or just write yes. And by the way, it's lonely when I don't know anybody's here. So why don't you just say hello if you're on here? I know it takes a little while for things to kick in with the Facebook Live. And if you're just coming on, I am delighted that you're here today. If you're watching the replay, that's fantastic. But I still want you to be part of this, even if you're watching it in 3 months, if it's still up. you know. So tell me you're here. Just say hi, and please invite your friends to join the group. All right, because there's a lot of really important information here, I believe, for musicians. I speak as a musician myself. I've been a musician all my life. My family is musicians. And it's just, musicians are suffering. And I've seen it all my life since I was a little kid. And my dad brought me to the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra. And we used to sit up front. And I was so excited to see the violinists. We'd sit up front there. And that's actually where I decided I didn't want to play in orchestras, because at that time, the violinists really didn't look very happy. And I love the violin and I wanted to be happy playing the violin. So that's where I started realizing when I was very little that musicians were not always happy. And when I started performing with musicians as actually a very young adult, but I've been performing, pretty much all my life, being around professional musicians, it became very evident very soon that most musicians are actually also suffering from some kind of physical pain. Physical pain, emotional pain. Let's just call it pain. And so when we're talking about healing in this group, when I'm talking about healing, I'm talking about healing the whole self. I'm talking about healing the body for sure. My clients, I just had a student, and this is not unusual. I just had a student in my Jumpstart program who had tried everything. Even Alexander technique lessons with a hands-on teacher for 2 years. And she started my Jumpstart program within a week and a half. Her pain was gone. Okay, and this is not unusual. People come to me with pain, and the things that I teach are very, very deep and very powerful. And the best thing is they're so simple. You can take what I'm teaching and improve on day one, guaranteed. Anyway, so most musicians are suffering, as I said. Some kind of pain or suffering mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. It's all kind of the same thing. And the other thing that most musicians, I can almost say all musicians, but not really. I know there are people who don't care about this. But most musicians would love to be able to play better, right? Most people want to improve their skills. If you're a musician, do you want to improve your skills? Just tell me. And by the way, the comments are not showing up for me, which is frustrating. These Facebook Lives are very often frustrating. So I just want to thank you if you are commenting, but to let you know that I can't see them. So actually, give me 1 second. I'm going to pop over to the group, and actually I can do it from my phone. If you give me 1 second, I'm going to see if I can pull up this live video on my phone, and then I can actually converse with you guys. It's frustrating. Yes, comments are
not showing up for me,
turn off.
which is frustrating.
Okay, I gotta turn off the sound, Jennifer. All right, here we go. Yes, hello. All right, now, hello, Tisha. I can see the comments now. Hey, Tisha. Hey, Kay. And hello, James. Yes, James and Tisha and Anastasia are watching. I'm so glad that you're here. And now I can actually talk with you. And if you want to throw in, I would love to get your comments and your feedback. If you're agreeing with what I'm saying, it helps me to know that we're on the same page. And if you don't agree, I also love to get that kind of feedback too, because then we can have a conversation. And yeah, all feedback is good. And emojis, I love those emojis that pop up too, so that I can see those on my phone. All right, I am going to go on. If you've just joined in, this video is about why practicing away from your instrument is the key to healing yourself and improving your skills. Most people, when they think about healing, they do things away from the instrument, right? There are not many people out there who understand how to play an instrument in a way that is actually healing in the moment. I think that's extremely rare. And that's, one of the unique things that I offer my students, of course, is how to play your instrument and be healing at the same time. But right now, I want to talk about how it's possible to, actually, what I was going to say is that most people actually, when they think about healing, it's not done while they're actually playing their instruments. It's something that you do away from the instrument. Maybe you rest and don't play for a week or so or longer if you're injured, or you go to specialists, you go to doctors, physical therapists, chiropractic, acupuncture, all kinds of things away from your instrument to heal, right? You with me? Okay. And then when we talk about skills improvement, most people think that needs to be done at the instrument, right? So it's really kind of unusual. I don't think I've seen anybody talking about how to heal and improve your skills at the same time by doing the same thing away from your instrument and actually, or with your instrument. You can do both with the instrument, you can do both away from the instrument, but today is mostly about what you can do away from your instrument. Okay, so does this make sense? Okay, so far so good. You realize that most musicians are in pain. Actually, if you're in pain, you're watching this right now or watching the replay, I would love to know, put in the comments what part of your body you're having an issue with, if you're in pain. And it's really helpful for other people to know that they're not alone. So if you have that confidence here in this group to share what's actually going on for you, you can put that into the comments, and that could be, really helpful not only for you, but for those watching to know that they're not alone. And so what I see mostly is that people, when they're talking about healing or when they're talking about working on their skills, they're not usually talking about the whole person. And especially if you're talking about practicing, you're not usually thinking about your whole person. And this is what's unique to my work, where I'm bringing a way to address the whole person with your instrument and without your instrument. And what I mean by the whole person is for myself, I want to become aware of the interconnectedness of every aspect of my being. And that means I want to recognize that my mind is not separate from my body. It's not. When you think about it, thoughts, we think of the mind as thoughts, right? Thoughts are actually physical. They are not abstract things floating around in the ether out there in outer space. And then they don't land on you. Well, actually, it's possible that could happen with ideas, but once you know they're in your brain, they are thoughts and they are neurons firing and wiring together in a sequence, and that's what a thought is. So a thought, how you use your mind, this is not something that's abstract. It is actually physical. And that's the most elementary way to realize that your mind and your body are not separate. So we want to be learning how to integrate the mind with the body. And by the way, if you're playing your instrument, whatever instrument it is, let's say violin, like me, I want to be able to use my fingers, right? Well, how do I use my fingers? I have to want to use my fingers. So there's an element of will. So, emotions might be involved in there. Like, I really want to use my fingers, whether I'm aware of it or not. There's some kind of emotional quality there. There's a desire, right? I want to use my fingers. And in order to use my fingers, I need to have that desire, but also to, have a wish. I need to initiate the movement of my fingers coming from my brain. So there is a thought that starts up here that initiates those neurons firing and wiring together in a sequence. And if I don't stop that desire from being manifested, then those neurons just continue throughout my system and they stimulate muscles to contract all the way to my fingers, which causes them to move. Now, quite miraculous. I do not understand beyond that how that works. And, there are people who know much more about the physiology and the neuroscience and all that. I am very far from an expert in that, like the nitty-gritty of the specifics. But I guarantee you, not even a single neuroscientist or a single physiologist really understands the miracle of how you can have an idea and manifest it, make it happen. And I believe there is a lot more to this than meets the eye, and there's a lot more that is not even necessarily physical. And I'm talking more energetically now, and actually science has proven this too. We are also energetic beings. So I want to be able to bring together the mind, the body, the emotions, and my sense of my energetic self and my creative spirit. Okay, so I'm just telling you who I am, what I want for myself, and when I am integrating it all, and it's all integrated anyway, but when I'm talking about having a unified field of attention and awareness that I am one whole being, and I am not separate from you or this room or my violin or the stage or my neighbors or the people on the other side of this planet. When I have that sense of awareness, then there's a presence and there's an ease and an effortless quality that then I can bring to the things that I do. Whether that's washing my dishes, whether it's having a conversation on the phone with my kids or my parents or my friends, or I'm, out buying groceries, or I am performing with my violin on stage at Carnegie Hall. It's the same thing. You're taking an idea, there's a desire, and you're letting it go through this physical body and out your body and out your instrument, whatever the activity is. Okay, does this make sense? And is this something that sounds attractive? Like you would want this too? And give me a yes. If this is something that you're like, oh, wow, this sounds interesting. I want that. This is just the human birthright. This is what we are designed to do. That's what I'm doing right now as I speak. I have ideas. They're coming to me or they're in me or I don't care where the ideas come from as long as they are aligned with my whole self. And then if I want to express them, I let them out and it's easy. Okay? However, before I go on, I want to just hop over here and I think I'm seeing Anastasia. Thank you for commenting. Anastasia has pain in the right shoulder for 1 year. Oh, I'm so sorry. There is nothing worse than pain that won't go away and that you are not able to get rid of. I kind of specialize in helping musicians with pain lately. So I've been speaking with a lot of musicians in my classes and in my coaching program about their pain. And it's just, I really feel for you. And I hope that, you'll find some answers in the content here in this group, and anybody watching, if you want more, you know where to find me, and I'd be happy to talk with you about other options. And actually, at the end of this video, I'm going to talk about my Jumpstart program a little bit, so that there is something you can do about it. Okay, so moving on, coming back to this idea of practicing. Because this video, if you're just coming on, you see the title, it's about why practicing away from your instrument is both going to help you heal your whole self, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and it's going to help you improve your skills. It's going to help you improve your technique, your musicianship, your expression, everything. So what is this thing called practicing? This is the next thing I want to talk about. As a musician, I'm sure you know that you need to practice to improve, right? Yes, right? Everybody knows this. We have to improve. And here, I don't know when the yeses popped up, but I'm seeing yeses from Kay and Tisha. When Tisha says posture is very beneficial for the relief. Yes, and I have a really different idea about what posture is from most people. So I think there are other videos that I've done on posture. So yeah, definitely a big topic. Thanks, Tisha. Okay, so again, I would love it for those of you who are watching now or a replay or whatever, just keep throwing those comments out there and interact, and then I can talk to you. I can't always do that. So anyway, I'm going to dive in further, go a little deeper into this idea of practicing. What you practice, you get better at, for better or for worse. Now remember that, because practicing doesn't always make you better. Sometimes it can make you worse. I'm sure you've all had the experience out there, no matter how long you've been playing your instrument. I mean, I've been playing since I was 4, so that's many decades. Some of you are beginners, right? But you all know that if you practice a wrong note over and over and over and over and over and over again without realizing it until somebody else points it out, then you get really good at playing that note wrong, right? So practicing in itself is not necessarily a good thing. You have to know what you're practicing. And most of us, when we practice, we are focusing on just a part of who we are and a very small part of who we are. We are actually, and practice is repetition, right? Practice is a repetition of a way you're using your brain connected to your body. It's a repetition of those sequences I talked about of thoughts, neurons firing and wiring together. Every time you think a thought, again, it enforces and strengthens the connections of those neurons, and it makes it easier to do that thing. However, easier is not the right word. It makes it, you're better at it. It's like that sequence fires faster. So that means if you, like I said, if you practice the same thing over and over and over and over again, you'll get better at it. Those neurons are going to fire faster, and you're just going to play that note wrong without even thinking about it. And you're not even, yeah. So most of the times we think about repetitive practice as being what you need to improve, and it is. You do need to practice things to strengthen the connections, but you need to be very mindful of what you're practicing. So here's the logic I want to share with you that nobody ever talks about. Let's just paint a scenario. Imagine you are in your, what's your dream wish? Just everybody right now, right here, you individually, take a moment and conjure up in your imagination a goal that you have. Like, wouldn't it be nice if I could blank, fill in the blank? Wouldn't it be nice, for example, if I could play this piece I'm working on, or this piece that I have coming up that I've played a million times? Wouldn't it be nice if I could play that piece in front of an audience? And it didn't matter who was in the audience, and it didn't matter how big the audience was, and it didn't matter what the space was like, and it didn't matter whether I ate bananas before the performance or not. And it didn't matter if I even slept the night before or not. And I'm there just full of ease in myself, feeling confident and free in my body, pain-free, stress-free, anxiety-free. Wouldn't it be nice if I could play this piece and just whip off those technical passages effortlessly? And while doing so, I didn't even have to work at it, didn't even have to think about the technique, it just happens for me. And not only that, but I'm giving myself goosebumps because what I'm making is lovely and I'm enjoying it. I am moved by my own performance, and therefore I am moving everyone in the audience who is open to being moved. Now, wouldn't that be nice? Who out there wants that? Is this just me? I don't think so, because I've taught hundreds of musicians at this point how to go in that direction. And I think all musicians would love to have that experience consistently and to know exactly what to do to be able to go in that direction to make that possible. And I want to say hello to everybody showing up. Please just say hi and then I can talk to you. That would be great. So anyway, we painted a scenario and hopefully we're all on the same page. Hello, Ernesto. Great to have you here. Thank you for showing up. That's great. And Tisha is me. Tisha wants this. Yes. Okay, great. So I know this is an ideal, okay? I'm able to actually achieve that ideal sometimes. I can't do it all the time, but I've had a lot of experiences where I really did what I knew I needed to do with my whole self, and I was able to bring myself into that scenario. So I can tell you from firsthand experience, this is possible. It's not crazy, and there are people who can do this. Problem is, people don't know how to teach this because most people can't do it. They don't know how. And the people, very often, the great musicians who know how to do, let me take that back. The great musicians who can do this don't know how they do it. And therefore, they can't give you, step by step, play by play, this is what you need to do to get there. They share their own experience, their feelings, their understanding of what to do with the fingers and the bows and with the embouchure if you're a wind player, or your how to breathe and what to do if you're a singer, what to do with your diaphragm. And yeah, there's a lot of teaching about specifics, and there is very little teaching on how to live your life as a whole integrated being with joy and effortlessness, and to bring that into your music making. It's almost non-existent out there from what I can gather. So back to our main topic, which is today, if you're just coming on, why practicing away from your instrument is the key to healing and improving your skills. Okay. We established what practicing is. We established what the goal is. Wherever you are now with whatever pains or sufferings or anxieties or challenges, technical difficulties that you have, you know where you want to go ideally. But how do you get there? How do you get from point A to point B? Well, you need to first of all recognize that if you are practicing in a certain way, you're getting better at it, and therefore you're going to get more of that. What I mean that people don't look at is if you are practicing with excess tension in your body, then you're going to get good at playing your instrument with excess tension in your body. It's not going to go away just magically, because the excess tension that you bring to your instrument, your musical instrument, which is connected to how you're thinking, like negative thoughts, fearful thoughts, self-critical thoughts, judging thoughts, all of those kinds of unhelpful thoughts increase tension in your body, guaranteed every single time, because every thought is connected to your body. This is cause, this is effect. And it's a little more complicated than that. But anyway, so if you are bringing negative thoughts of any kind into your practicing with your instrument, then you are bringing excess tension into your practicing with your instrument. And it's not so black and white, because we always fluctuate between positive thoughts, negative thoughts, ease in the body, ease in the body, tension in the body, ease in the body, tension in the body, right? There's a vibration that goes on all the time. However, there is a general direction of more ease and flow, or more tension and compression. If you are approaching your instrument in the general direction of more compression and more tension, and kind of some negativity towards yourself and or others, like maybe you're afraid of the audience or whatever. If you're bringing that kind of thinking, maybe you're nervous about an upcoming performance, you're going to bring that tension into your practicing with your instrument. And then you're going to get better at performing that way, because that's how you practiced. So if you want to be able to perform with effortless ease and joy and have fun on stage and be really connected and present in the moment, so that you can be fully aware of, the passion in your heart and transmit that essence of the music without impediment. You want to share it with your audience and get the feedback, so there's an energetic loop between you and the audience. If you want that, you actually have to practice that way. Duh. Sorry. I'm just frustrated because people don't realize this. Not you. It's nobody's fault, but people haven't been teaching that way, in my opinion. And forgive me if I'm wrong, and I do tend to get passionate about this topic because there's just so much misinformation. And even more than misinformation, there's so much partial information, because we all focus on specifics most of the time, and we forget about holistic integration. If you want to learn how to play technical passages with ease, you need to learn how to use your fingers with ease. Now I'm getting to the main point. Finally, Jennifer's getting to the point. If you want to be able to move your fingers with technical facility without all that excess tension, and you want to be able to just play passages with, effortless ease, you have to know how to move your fingers and move your arms with effortless ease, right? Isn't that logical? So guess what? How much time do you practice? A portion of the day, whether it's a tiny portion or a bigger portion, really doesn't matter, because I guarantee that there's a larger portion of your day where you're not with your instrument, right? But guess what? You're still using your fingers and your arms all day long, unless you're just hanging out on the beach and lying there for 8 hours. But most of us aren't doing that. Most of us are doing things with our arms, with our fingers, and we're all breathing, by the way. So if you're a wind player, you're still needing to breathe away from your instrument. My point is, if you want to be able to use your body easily when you're making music, you need to be able to use your body easily when you're not making music, so that you can practice using your body with ease, even when you're not with your instrument. It's much more time. And you're not practicing all of the baggage that comes with playing your instrument. We all have so many habits, and not all of them are helpful. That's what I mean by baggage. We have so many unhelpful thoughts and habits that we bring to our instruments. And if you kind of put it aside for a little bit and you leave your instrument and you live your day, you can practice how you use yourself, how you're thinking about things. Do you have a habit of being critical about yourself? Do you have a habit of being critical of other people? Do you have a habit of thinking you're not good enough in other areas of your life? Do you have a habit of thinking you need to push and do a lot to get a lot done all the time? Do you have a habit of thinking you don't have enough time? Because if you do, you're increasing your tension throughout the day. Then you're going to bring that to your instrument, guaranteed, 100%. So, in my work, which I call the Art of Freedom method for conscious living and masterful artistry, notice it's about living, conscious living, and about masterful artistry with your instrument, making music. In the Art of Freedom method, we are looking at your purpose, your desires, your goals, what you want. We're looking at the mind, the body, the spirit, and your artistry. Those are the 5 pillars of the Art of Freedom method. And I'm sharing very simple, incredibly, ridiculously simple ways. Like there's a step-by-step process that I teach based on the principles of the Alexander technique, but I teach it hands-free. So you are totally empowered to be doing this for yourself from day one. I teach you what to do step by step. And then you know exactly what to do to think in a way that's constructive, that allows your body to let go of that excess tension so that you can access the freedom that you want in your thinking, in your mind, the freedom to be able to feel and express and process emotions quickly so that you don't get stuck in a negative down spiral of lack of motivation or depression or performance anxiety or shame or embarrassment or fear-based thinking and emotions. You need to have a step-by-step, clear and quick way to bring yourself back up and out so that you can enjoy your life and bring that enjoyment to your instrument. Now, there's so much more, obviously, so much more that I could share here with all of you about the exact steps to do this. But that's, of course, that's what I teach in my programs. I can't give it to you all here in this free group. And, besides that, it's my livelihood. But there's just so much more. And I would love for every musician on the planet to learn this because it's so easy, so simple, so fast. It helps you heal in every aspect of your body and every aspect of your mind and every aspect of your emotional being. And you get to improve your music making at the same time. Your technique gets easier, more effortless, and you start to know how to allow yourself to express emotionally. Now, it is simple, it is quick to learn, it is very easy. That doesn't mean that the change happens overnight, although it happens very often to my students that pain they've had for a very long time goes away like miraculously quickly. I've had many people who have had pain. I'm thinking of another student right now who had pain for, she said, decades, and she had never been able to play any performance without any performance anxiety. And she had so much pain that she was about to quit her viola completely. She was going to quit being a performer and go into musicology. And she said, last resort, I'm going to try Jennifer's program. She stepped into a program with me, and literally within a couple months, her pain was gone in performance. She was able to play 3 Easter services back to back, pain-free, and no performance anxiety. So this is possible. Things like this are possible, and they're not just a fluke. Okay, so everybody's different. Not everybody gets results so fast, and a lot of it depends on things that we have no idea about and that I have no idea about. But I teach the same process, and it works. So I'm going to wrap up this video very soon, and I want to ask if anybody's got any questions. Tisha, I see Tisha commented it's a life-changing technique. Yes, Tisha is actually in one of my programs, and Tisha, thank you for putting that out there. It absolutely is a life-changing technique, and yeah, my students could all attest to that. If anybody wants to find out more without asking me, talk to my students and they will tell you what it's like. And I'm sure it will be glowing because my students are happy because we have a great time. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. If anybody has questions, put them into the comments. If you're watching the replay and you have questions, put them into the comments and tag me. I will be sure to see them and I will respond to you, even if it's months from now or years from now. I always do my best to respond, and I do my best to respond quickly too. So I am offering a new version. It's not a new version. I guess that's not how I want to say it. A new session. That's what I wanted to say. I have a new session of the Musician's Advantage Jumpstart program starting next week, and the deadline to register is Sunday. That's tomorrow, right? Today's Saturday. Deadline is tomorrow. And this is my entry program, okay? It's an entry-level program for any musician who wants the type of thing I've been talking about. If you want to learn how to be integrated and present and bring more effortless ease and freedom into your music making, then this is for you. If you have pain in your body, this is for you. If you are so sick of the pandemic and you are just so frustrated and you don't even want to practice, you're not motivated, this is for you. If you just have lost your purpose and you have no idea why you're even playing music, but something tells you you need to get back to it, or you need to go up to the next level and you really want to be successful, but you just keep doing the same thing over and over again and you're not getting the results that you want, this program's for you. And I could say a million other reasons why you would want to take it. It's a 30-day program, but I'm offering an extra week, like a bonus week for free for people who sign up this time. What you get, just really briefly, contact me for all the details, by the way. Excuse me. Sorry. What you get, there are 3 ways to learn in this program. Private coaching with me. You get a full private coaching session with me. Lots of opportunity for individual back and forth with me in our private Facebook group. And then we have some live group classes where I also, answer your individual questions, things that you want to know about yourself and your own unique situation. So there's a lot of personal interactive support in there. In addition to the private coaching, there is a powerful and simple, it's not going to take you endless time. My goal is to make things easier for people. So I want you to be able to learn these things in less time, with less work, with less stress, with less pain. You get the idea. So I've designed this program to be easy, but very, very, very effective. So there's a self-study course, and you do the first 2 weeks kind of on your own. You're working through that. You meet with me whenever is best for you. Then we start the live group classes. There are usually 2 group classes in this 30-day program. Because I'm offering a free week, there are going to be 3. And I've also added an extra one at the beginning where we're going to meet and greet and talk about how the program works next week. So that's what's involved in the program. But I'm just going to say, if my students, and they all do, I get them to do this, if you take this and you do the work, and I'm talking about daily consistent awareness etudes practice. If you do that consistently twice a day as prescribed, and that literally takes you about 3 or 4 minutes in the morning and 3 or 4 minutes as a warm-up before you practice or before you go to bed, if you do those 2 little practice sessions, maximum 10 minutes a day, if you do that and you commit to that, I guarantee your results by the end of this 30-day program, this 5-week program now because it's the free week. And I'm also offering, I always forget what the the special bonuses. let me just pull that up quick. Yes. Oh, that's right. I'm offering an extra free self-study course. It's one course for educators about teaching online, and then the other option you get to choose is the Musician's Mindset Power Toolkit, which is a very, very powerful short mini course, and you get instant access to that, and you get lifetime access to these courses that I'm giving you, both the mini course that is my gift to you, and then the 3-week self-study course, the Jumpstart Foundations course. You get lifetime access to that as well. Everything's recorded, so if you have to miss anything, it's not a big deal. You watch the recording, and there's just a lot of support, a lot of content. But if you only did 10 minutes or less of awareness ancients practice a day, you get the results. So, or your money back. There's even a 100% money back guarantee, because I know this works, and nobody's ever wanted their money back. I mean, of course, you could be the first person, and I hope you're not. But I've been teaching this for quite a while, and people get the results. It's just it works, so I can guarantee it. If you are curious, you need to get in touch with me quickly, because I don't know when I'm offering the next Jumpstart. I never do. Recently, I've been doing them pretty much every couple months or so, and I might be doing that over the summer again, but I really am not sure. And I like to change things up. So the current program, I don't know when I'm going to offer this again. So if this sounds like what you want, and you would like to make some fundamentally wonderful progress in your life and as a musician, then please reach out to me. Just send me a message here on Facebook, private message me, or email. If you prefer email, you can email me at jennifer@artoffreedom.me. That's .me. And just tell me you're curious, and then I'll send you a message with a few questions to make sure the Jumpstart is a good fit for you. And once I hear back from you and we make sure this is right for you, given your situation and what you're looking for, then I will send you all the details and get you signed up so you can get started. Again, tomorrow is the last day to register, and I would love, love, love for you to have these skills, and we have so much fun. I just love my classes, and yeah, people, I don't know, we just have a great time. It's really deep work, but it's really simple. It's really easy. And the whole point is to enjoy yourself more. So we really enjoy our classes, and I enjoy working with every single person there. So I invite you to reach out to me and ask me for details. We will chat and go from there. Thank you so much for watching, and please invite people to join the group. And the more the merrier. As I said, I want musicians to know that they don't have to be in pain. They don't have to be suffering. There is a way out, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And while doing that, even away from your instrument, which is where you spend the most time and make the most progress because you're working on yourself, that's what we want. And it's possible to improve on every level in a really simple way with the Art of Freedom method. You want to master your instrument, you need to start by working on mastering yourself. And you do that with your instrument, and you do it away from your instrument. But we spend much more time away from the instrument. So use that time to practice mastering yourself in the specific ways that I give you that very simple structure. It's not hard. The whole point is that you don't have to work so hard. It's possible to live with ease and then bring that ease into your music. Thank you very much for being here, and take care. Enjoy this weekend. Lots of love to everybody here. Bye-bye.